Hello and welcome to Contact Sport. I'm Paul Kennedy. Today we're looking at Australian rules umpiring, and in a moment I'll be joined by two special guests. With so much focus on the rules and decisions, it's easy to forget there are dedicated professionals who, just like players and coaches, are striving for excellence. Contact Sport was a fly on the wall at umpire training this week.
Got the leg speed, might need it in the end. It's a goal.
That is a super. Oh, it's not a goal. Goal umpire says no goal.
Over the line.
But it's a super play.
What's happened here?
They don't know.
Let's have a look.
Oh, that's a disgrace.
That's a goal.
That is a disgrace.
That's a goal. He's in perfect position, the goal umpire, and he stuffed it up.
That is unforgivable. That is. He should never go umpire again.
And we have a look at a quick kick here. Now the North players are saying touched or hit the post. And
Tony will take the repeat group out under the freeway. Is there anyone interested in an easy 30 minutes? No. Yep. Okay, so Jack will take the easy 30 minutes. You might actually just go out for 15 and turn around and come back the whole way. And then the Latour group can meet in the gymnasium to do the fartlek on the bike. He's actually a horse trainer.
can't get it.
And they were the umpires running off for their Wednesday night session. I'm joined by leading AFL umpires now, boundary umpire Ian Burrows and goal umpire Luke Walker. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
It would be good to get some insight for today's show and just why, first of all, you became umpires. Ian, we'll start with you. What brought you to being a boundary umpire?
Well, I played lots of junior footy, obviously, when I was younger. Played through to like the end of juniors, under 16s, and was still pretty keen to stay involved, but wasn't necessarily that keen to keep playing. So a good way, I was always pretty fit as a youngster, so I thought a good way to stay involved was to take up the boundary umpiring.
And it was your running ability that saw you go on and become an AFL umpire?
Yeah, well, I was always a pretty good runner, nothing terribly special, but loved getting out and having a run. So boundary umpiring, of course, there's plenty of running up and down the line, and I thought that might suit sort of my skills. We'll
talk about the fitness and your fitness benchmarks in a few moments. But Luke, what brought you to goal umpiring? At what point do you say to yourself, I want to be a goal umpire?
Well, back when I was going to school, one of my mates was actually a boundary umpire at the local association, and he asked me if I wanted to come along, and I thought boundary umpiring probably isn't quite for me. I'm not a great runner. So he suggested I do the goals, and I did say to him, I said, why would I want to do that? And he said, you can do 2 games in one day, so you get paid double. So as a 15, 16-year-old, I thought that sounds okay, so I'll give that a go.
And you stayed with it despite your busy life, because you've got a full-time job, obviously, but you're also a district cricketer. Were there decisions along the way for you to either give it up or stay with it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both take up a lot of time. Lucky enough that obviously the 2 seasons are split apart to some degree, but there are times when I do have to make decisions about whether it's going to be cricket or umpiring, especially towards the end of the cricket season and the start of the footy season. So the AFL try to help me out and encourage me to keep playing cricket, and try to help me out with appointments for the start of the season as much as possible.
And Ian, what about the balance for you? Because you're a journalist at the ABC as well, so it's a busy life to be able to fit that in.
Yeah.
Of course, the players have the luxury these days of being full-time professionals.
Yeah, you're right. All of us, all the field boundary and goal umpires in the AFL, all have full-time jobs. So yeah, it can be quite difficult balancing all your training plus your commitments on game day, your compulsory training sessions, meeting all the fitness requirements, etc. So, but the AFL is pretty good. Like, they have people at the AFL dedicated to sort of helping work-life balance and things like that. And they'll always, try and accommodate where they can to make sure you've got the right balance.
Yeah. No doubt one of those people is Jeff Geishan, and I spoke to him on Wednesday night as part of our visit to the umpires training. Let's hear now from Jeff Geishan about the task of getting so many umpires out to those games during the week.
There is a lot of pressure goes with that. I mean, we have 8 rounds a week, or 8 games a week. We're a little bit different to the clubs, obviously. They have one team to look after and maybe a reserves team, but we have 8 teams of umpires that go out every week to perform. And Across Australia, we put out 188 people. That's field umpires, boundary umpires, goal umpires, interchange stewards, timekeepers, ball stewards, all their observers and coaches that we expect a level of performance from. And I guess when you've got 188 people going out there, there's always the opportunity or potential for one or two of those to maybe have an off day, maybe make a few mistakes. And when that happens, obviously the pressure comes on us. You know, you would have seen firsthand tonight the level of sort of professionalism that the coaches go about their business with, the level of professionalism that the fitness staff go about their business with, and you know, then the meetings they have regarding teamwork and how they're going to go about it on the day. So, you know, some people might say it's an overkill, but no, we think the game demands the utmost professional performance from our people, and we try to deliver on that every week. And yes, we're going to make mistakes. I think there's a perception out there of 100% accuracy 100% of the time, but I can tell you, you know, after 10 or 11 years in this role, that's never going to happen. It hasn't happened before, and it probably won't ever happen in the future. So we've got to understand mistakes will be made. We've just got to try and make sure we minimise those and be as consistent as we possibly can be. And if we do make mistakes, we need to articulate that and put that out there, because we don't want people thinking that we've changed interpretation or changed the way we do things.
Jeff Geeshan there, and much has been made of those mistakes from last week. But I want to talk about fitness now and just how far umpiring's come. Luke, we'll look at some vision from the 1970s now just to show us what a traditional goal umpire looks like. But you've got a lot of fitness requirements these days. Can you tell us a little bit about your training?
Yeah, definitely. Pre-season, we've got to pass a 5-kilometre benchmark time, which is approximately 24 minutes. Throughout the season, our training's more aimed at speed and agility. Yep. We get obviously a lot of quick snaps out of packs, and we require some short, sharp movements. So sort of trigger running from a standing start is the sort of things that we practice throughout the season.
And you have benchmarks as far as body fat goes.
Yeah, we have skid fold testing, happens 5 or 6 times a year, so we've got to be under a certain requirement.
Do you think that's an image thing or is that a performance thing?
I think it's both. I think the AFL is obviously conscious of the image of having fit people out there officiating the games. And obviously, from a fitness point of view, it keeps you in check throughout the season. Yeah,
and Ian, of course, you do professional running as well. Boundary umpires are some of the best runners going around. What's your training consist of?
Yeah, well, there's a big variation in the guys, but we're mostly pretty good runners. There's some guys who are more focused on the short, sharp, sort of really top level sprinters, and other guys who, you know, are doing 10Ks around 30 minutes, which is sort of bordering on national level. So yeah, running in a game, of course, we're doing 15Ks and up per game. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty high fitness demands, and we're training most days cardio and speed work.
All right. Well, let's look at the other pressures that you have and the mistakes. We've touched on it briefly, but there was a lot of criticism last week of some of the goal umpiring decisions, and I asked Jeff Geeshan on Wednesday night just what he thought about the immediate criticism that is given to umpires, and this is what he said.
We always say that if we've made mistakes and if they're blatant and there's a level of performance there that's not acceptable, we're more than comfortable with any level of criticism that comes our way. I guess the umpires, and I've been close to them now for a long time, where we do get frustrated is when they actually get it right, and some commentators still infer that they got it wrong or infer that, you know, it's not right. That is really frustrating. On the vast majority of occasions, our guys get it right, and it does become frustrating when people continually look for the fault, look for the wrong in what they do when they do so many good things in a game. The Laws Committee meet several times a year, and Andrew McKay has been around the club and got a lot of ideas and consulted heavily there. So a lot of this information we've been privy to and sort of realised the stuff is in the pipeline. So we had a chance to get our head around that. But at the end of the day, you know, decisions will be made by the Laws Committee, the Commission and what have you. And at the end of the day, we will do what we're asked to do. It's quite simple.
Would it be easier for the goalies, though, do you think?
Yeah, there's certainly merit in that. I mean, we saw the Hawkins won in the grand final last year under this system. That would have stood as a goal and we wouldn't have all the controversy. And we saw one with Brad Green the other week, exactly the same thing. So there is a bit of merit in it, but again, it's not my decision. It's something that we made by the people in charge.
And there was a big video review session that was held during the week, as it is every week, to talk about some incidents. Let's look very quickly at an incident before we have a look at the review.
Missed it. Mundy off a step. Got the handball from Hazelby. Mundy's kick is a goal. The Dockers! They're still coming! Oh, hang on, who is it to go? I think it is.
Is it touched or...
Come in, guys.
Well, let's have a listen here. He didn't see any touch, he just said.
So are you 100% sure that it's a goal? If you're 100% sure it's a goal, then it's all clear a goal.
There it is. It's a goal to Mundy. It's 100% sure.
And as we look at the pictures from Wednesday night, the review, Luke, can you tell us about the consultation? That's been the word this week used in addressing some of these decision-making processes.
Yeah, obviously the consultation process is used if there's some degree of doubt as to what the correct decision might be. We're going to approach the field umpire if we're ever in doubt, and he'll orchestrate the consultation process and call in the boundary umpires if necessary and get their views, just so that everyone's clear as to